Hello. We're here at EGX Rezzed, a wonderful, wonderful place to be, and I'm here with
Isaiah Cartwright.
and
John Corpening.
so I have many very important questions. Excellent. First of all is, can you tell us a little bit about what's happening to the AI in this new expansion? Are they getting smarter, better, faster, and so on?
Sure, we're really kind of building a tool set for us to be able to make more interesting encounters. And the AI is kind of one of those pieces. It can allow us to get a little bit more intelligent targeting. We can target groups of players at the same time to maximize the damage of a creature. And also they can kind of see what's going on a little bit better. And that adds into the set of tools we have, along with the changes to the Defiance system, which give us some more kind of ways to make interesting encounters.
Yeah. This second one is kind of a little bit of a strange one, but is there any love to the underwater combat system in this game?
You know, the jungle region has a lot less underwater because we're really using the gliding system, and we're moving around in a large three-dimensional space. But there'll always be some, and you know, with every bit of change, every time we're working on it, there'll always be a little bit of cleanup and things that we're doing to underwater and the rest of the combat system as we adapt the new systems that we're putting together for Heart of Thorns.
Okay, excellent. Just on top of that, there's going to be, because of all the new mastery systems and the bouncy mushrooms and gliders, can we expect an awful lot of verticality to all the maps and stuff like that?
Yeah, we really wanted to make the jungle feel dangerous,
Yep.
and we felt one of the best ways was to add a lot of verticality. You know, falling to your death, very important part of MMOs. And so really made a lot of systems that kind of intertwine with that and allow you to overcome those challenges and difficulty.
And the other thing that has come up in previous interviews and things is that there's going to be an awful lot of detail. It's going to be very detailed zones. I mean, just fighting the wyvern in there, the backdrop was absolutely beautiful. I must, if I do say so myself.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, we really want to make the place feel alive. And as a jungle, we want it to feel kind of dense, and there's a lot going on, and it's dangerous. And so really trying to get that mood and that theme across in this content.
Okay, that is excellent. A lot of people, unfortunately, have potatoes and cannot run this game very well. Are there any major optimizations coming through to the game?
You know, no giant overhauls, but our engine team is constantly working all the time and making updates on every update that we have. And so I think you'll continue to see that progress of us, you know, trying to streamline all the different types of performance in the game. And so there'll definitely be some changes, but no big, giant, cohesive push or change. As soon as we get some of that stuff ready, we try to ship it as fast as we can.
Okay. And I take it that also means you're not making the game look more pretty as well, to further hurt these people's computers.
You know, I think whenever you work in any medium over and over and over, you get better at it. And so
Yeah.
I think we're getting better at using the tools that we have and the style that we have. And so because of that, I think it gets prettier and prettier, but not at the cost of more performance.
Yeah. That is excellent. That's a very good answer. I like that answer. Towards the end of the content that we've just played through in the current Guild Wars 2, we've seen a lot of map-wide events, very long event chains that affect the whole map and affect the dynamic of how everything works. Is that something we're going to be seeing more of?
Yeah, we really like that kind of sense of making the map feel like it has a story and it plays out. It does a lot of things for the gameplay and really makes a lot of good coordination inside the game.
Let's talk about the scale of this. How compared to the current Tyria, how, in terms of space, how much more is there to explore and play and enjoy?
You know, it's really kind of hard to compare because we did so much with verticality that the space, it becomes a three-dimensional space. And there's a lot more space when you go up and down. And so the whole kind of distance and size, it's really hard to actually tell.
Yeah.
And we haven't done a lot of, figuring out what the difference in size is because we just want to work on getting it all there and cram packing as much stuff into the smallest amount of area that we can.
Okay. And are we moving away from the previous thing with hearts and skill points and stuff, or is that still going to be present?
You'll definitely see skill points. Hearts are definitely, we've created this new outpost system and adventures, and we kind of feel like those are a little bit of a replacement for the heart system, and so there will be a little bit of progression to the outposts. You can kind of see it a little bit in the demo as there's some stages, and the outpost gets kind of bigger and bigger, and we're going to continue to work on that.
Okay. The precursors that will be made from masteries are going to be account bound. That is correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we're really trying to reduce the barrier of entry into getting into doing a precursor, but we really wanted to make it so that the path and the journey of the precursor is a personal one.
Okay, so I take that to be it will be more efficient and considerably quicker as opposed to just grinding out a absurd amount of gold to buy one of these things.
Yeah, I don't think quicker. It might take you more time versus a gold investment into it. But the goal is for it to feel like something that's accomplishable with smaller pieces that you can kind of get into. But we will go into a lot more details as we get closer to releasing and showing off the changes to the precursor journey.
Excellent. This is probably for more finally bring you into this.
All right.
I'm free. Will there be any advantage to not using any part of a specialization?
This is actually, I'm going to leave.
All right, fine.
Okay.
The specialization system is something that we've only just barely touched on, and we will go into more details to it. But it's really the idea that there's more tools for you to work with. And yeah, that does mean that if you don't want to use that tool, there'll be other kind of pieces of that system that you can play with. But we will go into way more details about that when we kind of do a deeper dive into specializations.
So it's more like an expansion skill set as opposed to, say, rangers become druids. They can use staves and they have all these extra super cool powers, but it is against their way to use a sword or something like that. So you'll be able to still use all of the rest of everything.
Yes, you'll totally still be able to use all the rest of everything, and how all that kind of works together. We'll go into more.
Okay, this one's definitely maybe.
We'll try.
It has been said that builds will be needed to be different for Stronghold and Conquest, but they will be in the same queue, the same map rotation. Does this mean build templates, or are you going to have a separate queue for Stronghold and Conquest?
So where we're at right now is that we want to see how players like the game once we go into betas. So right now what we're looking for is some player feedback on that, and we'll see what the need is at that point.
And another one on Stronghold. Are there going to be multiple maps for Stronghold, or is it just going to be the one?
So our plan is to make multiple maps for Stronghold. I'll tell you that right now. So, but the thing is that right now we want to focus on this one. This is our first map. It's really something different. It's really something new, and we want to see how players like it. We want to get feedback on that. We don't want to rush into just building a bunch of maps when this is just being tested by players for the first time. In this past week. So right now, what we're looking for is to see how the community loves it. And then we'll take it from there.
Fantastic. This is a very popular question. Is how will the Revenant be integrated into the fibre that is the lore of Guild Wars 2? I've heard that it is in the same way that you choose your character's background when you start a normal character. There will be Revenant-specific choices that will describe your past life before you put on a bandage to cover your eyes.
Yeah, really the Revenant's kind of pulling on the Mist, and the Mist has always been kind of a mysterious place where there's a lot of things going on. And really the lore of the Revenant is really being able to draw from those Mists, those powerful events of the past that have left these signatures in the Mists, and being able to draw that energy. And, Rytlock was the first Revenant kind of coming into the world, and so it's really deep tied in that lore, and being able to experience kind of channeling the Mists and being able to do many different things with that power.
Okay. Can you give us any insights into some of the choices that will determine where your Revenant has come from, as it were, or is that?
I think like all of the professions, you'll have some choices along the beginning, but you're really going to go through the normal story that everyone else goes through. With Gary, we're not building like a new story for the Revenant, and so most of the choices in that Mad Lib is what we like to call it, will be the ones that you've seen based on your race and where your characters come from, and those types of things. And so we're not expanding on that. We're just giving you a new profession to play with.
That is very, very sensible indeed. Otherwise, madness will ensue. Okay, some people who really like alts have asked, will we be getting any more character slots?
What is in each package or the way we're going to do that stuff, we're kind of still deciding that stuff. We're really focused right now on building the content, and that's kind of the stuff that I'm working on. We'll get into more of those details as we get closer to things about that.
Absolutely, as it should be. Here's one last normal question, and one this is particularly pertinent for me and other group of YouTubers. Are there going to be any new emotes or tools for Guild Wars 2, Machinima, movie makers, etc.?
I mean, I think the big one you've seen, we're just did a set of camera changes. They're going to be coming out in our next update. And so that's really a big one that we think will be in there. And as always, whenever we're doing all this kind of things, there's all bits of new animations and things like that. But I don't know exactly emote-wise how much we're adding to that system right now. Really focusing a lot more on the encounters, the creatures, the professions, things like that. But there's always opportunity for us to do stuff like that.
Now I have some fun questions to finish it off. This one has to be qualified slightly. Have you seen any of my videos other than one where I called you a werewolf?
Probably, but I don't know exactly which ones I have seen.
Okay. In that case, can you confirm that everything I say in them is true and accurate?
I think that would be a wildly dangerous assumption, seeming how I definitely know you call me a werewolf, and I might have a lot of hair, but not a werewolf.
Okay. Do you have a comment for this?
What you should know is that Izzy is actually a werewolf. Izzy is a werewolf. He's going to rip my throat out later, I know it, but he is.
There you have it. Straight from the horse's mouth. Although that is
Did you just call me a horse?
that was a poor choice of expression, I see that now. But it got a laugh, so I'm thinking that actually counters that, so that means I win. And let's have one more final question. What is more legendary, your cartwheels or Colin Johansson's smile?
There's no challenge here. It's Colin all the way. I mean, that smile, it's the best thing in the world.
So you admit defeat? And I assume you second that?
Yes, actually. I mean, Colin's... Wait, I feel it. Oh, thank you, Colin!
I thank you guys very much for your time. It has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you and playing the fantastic Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns demo. I think we can all say that we look forward to playing it a lot.